I got into a texting battle with him today because it felt like for a while there's some people who are like the Detroit Lions have no chance. 0.0% chance of going to the NFC Championship, competing to go to the Super Bowl. That's just what it's felt like from a handful of people. And to me, that's kind of like, all right, what are we doing here then? Like, what are you doing for the whole, like, if you have a team that can contend, that's 6-2, what are we talking about saying up here on the desk if you don't think that they can go compete for a Super Bowl? Do you know what do you see where I'm coming from there? And that's where it is. Like, that felt like, it feels like a SOL type of crowd. There's people in this same time slot, a competitor of ours, just down the road, that their nighttime slot talks all the time about SOL and how the Detroit Lions can't go win this, we'll never go do this, and that, to me, it's like, I don't want to be that. Like, I want to be that crowd where it's like all these other teams in the NFL that have fan bases and people that are talking about them that are consistently good. Like, why do those fan bases have that confidence? That's where I'm like, okay, we should have this confidence.
Yeah.
This isn't a football team that's 6-2 like the Vikings last year, who everyone knew they were frauds. They went on a 4-game win streak and beat every team by 20 plus. Like, it wasn't a one possession game like the Vikings last year. So that's where I'm at with this, where I was like, what are we talking about here that the Detroit Lions can't go contend? Like, you look at Patriots fans for 20 years. You go look at 49ers fans now, even though they haven't won a Super Bowl since the 90s. Every year they're like, we can do this. Why can't we have that? Like, why is it crazy for people to have that thought about Detroit Lions right now? Like,
it's not.
It's not, exactly. And there's some people and that was the thing with Easy, and what Easy didn't realize, which in the back, or it wasn't even in the back, he was still sitting in this chair. As soon as the stream went down, I explained to him, do you understand, like, they don't need the 1 seed. If you get the 2 seed, you still play 2 games at home. You still have 2 home games at Ford Field. You still have the advantage to go to the NFC Championship game. No matter who you end up playing, whether it's the 49ers, Seahawks, or Cowboys, they still have to come to Ford Field, and they have to have that crowd against them.
That's right.
And that's one of the tougher places to play that we know of. And I'm sure the Seahawks, even though they beat us earlier, I'm sure they don't want to come back. So that's where I'm at with it. It's, hey, if you get a 2 seed, you're still good. And I'm gonna say this as well. I'm gonna put a Booner guarantee on this.
Oh, here it comes. Da-da-da-da-da.
A Booner guarantee. Thank you, Nick. If the Detroit Lions get a 1 or 2 seed in the NFC this year, they will be playing in the NFC Championship. That is a guarantee from me. I truly believe that if they play in 2 straight home games in the playoffs, they're not going to lose both of those games. And I know it's like crazy because it's like, oh, they haven't even won a playoff game yet. And don't get ahead of yourself, Booner. That's just a fact. Like, you have the advantage at that point. You have full advantage at that point. And then as soon as I said that, Easy, it clicked in his head, and he was like, "Oh,
you're right.
You're right."